Haas is doing very well. He had his last surgery about 3 weeks ago, I believe, and he's recovering nicely. He has a follow-up appointment with the doctor sometime this upcoming week.
Remind everybody what happened to Haas.
Haas was attacked by two pit bulls when I was gone, when my family was at home, and he sustained a lot of injuries to his head, and ultimately he ended up losing his right ear.
He was drugged, right?
Yes, he was knocked out, and he was dragged through the desert by the two pit bulls while my wife was fighting the pit bulls off of the dog.
So he's went to Homestead Animal Hospital, and they've done several surgeries.
Yes, they did 3 surgeries. The first surgery was to put him back together, and then his right ear became infected. And then the second surgery was to try to save his right ear, but there was no blood flow into the ear, so it became infected, and the medication, the antibiotics couldn't reach that part of the ear. So the third surgery was to remove the ear to prevent, further infection.
He even had some of the skin kind of pulled off the top of his skull.
Yes. He had the skin was torn away from his head.
And so how's he doing now with the loss of an ear? Do you see any difference?
A little bit on his hearing. It's a little bit harder for him to hear, but he's recovering nicely.
So people donated to help him out. A lot of people really appreciate Haas's service. Tell us what he's done here for Nye County.
Well, the history on Haas is I bought him as a puppy when he was 8 weeks, and I ended up training him, and I saw that he had a potential to be a good police dog, a K-9 dog for law enforcement, and Sheriff DeMayo allowed me to bring him to the agency, so the agency or the county ended up buying him for $1, and I bought him back for $1 when he was done with his service. And he was credited to finding multiple narcotics fines on vehicles, homes, and also recovering a substantial amount of money during a service with the sheriff's office.
The K-9 units, they don't have funds for the dogs for medical care after they're done with service. They get taken care of while they're in service, right?
Correct. While they're in service, they have a budget to take care of these animals. However, when they're retired, it's up to the current. Most of the time, the dog goes back to the handler. That's the way we do it here in Nye County. But sometimes it'll go to citizens, throughout the country, and then they're responsible for the bills.
And so after these dogs have done their service, then if things happen, there's no fund for this. And you've kind of made a fund now, right?
Yes. And before I forget, I just want to thank everybody for all the money that they donated. We received enough to pay for his bills, and we've had extra money. Initially, I was going to start I was planning on starting a nonprofit organization, but I was out of our K-9 program for a while due to my dog retired, and I ended up deploying overseas for the National Guard. So when I came back, Sheriff DeMayo just put me back in charge of the K-9 program. So I learned that we do have a nonprofit K-9 association. It's called Nye County Law Enforcement K-9 Association, and it was set up at Edward Jones here in town. So we're going to use that organization to, I've talked to the K-9 members, and what we're going to do it for is 3 things. Number 1 is to help our K-9s that are retired. Number 2, to buy equipment for the current K-9s that are in service right now. And number 3, when it's time to retire a dog, to donate money from our association to purchase a new dog for service for the county to serve our citizens.
Because that's important, isn't it? These dogs can only work so long, and they need to be replaced. But it is important to continue to take care of them after all the service that they provided.
Yes, it's very important to take care of them, and then also think about the future canines that we can acquire for our counties, because we want to get the best possible dogs out there to give the best possible service to our citizens.
So people can stop by Edward Jones right here in town and donate with a check to help out the K-9s.
Right, they can do that, and then we're planning on having some community events to raise money and let people know what our canines can do.
So Haas is going to have another checkup, but he seems to be okay. Do you foresee any other complications going on here?
No, I don't foresee any other complications. He's doing really well. He's barking, chasing his tail. You know, we're playing ball with him, so he's doing really good right now.